Want to help the pollinators, but you're not ready to turn your lawn into a wildflower field? Today we're going to go over 3 quick and easy tips that you can help the pollinators by doing less and saving money. My name's Eileen, and welcome to the Garden Squared, where we teach you how to garden organically with less effort and more success. So if you're looking for a channel with great tips and how-tos, as well as some sweet garden tours, click that little likey like button and subscribe. So, lawn. What's the deal? Well, it can be very bad for the environment. It's considered an ecological dead zone if it's just grass, and that's because it's just a monocrop. And speaking of crops, grass is actually the largest grown crop in the United States. We grow more grass than we do corn, and it takes up a huge amount of water consumption. 3/4 of residential water is actually spent on the outside irrigating people's lawns. Now, some of that does go to watering their gardens too, but for the most part, I think most of that water is spent on lawns, so it's a lot of water use. Now, there are some very easy things that we can do with our lawn that don't involve totally getting rid of our lawn. I know, some people just love their lawn, and I do have some grass. I've turned most of it into a pollinator garden, but I do have some lawn surrounding the outside of my house. So some lawn is okay. But the first thing that we can do to make it better for the environment and to help the pollinators is just by simply stop cutting it so often. I only cut my grass about once a month, and as you can see, it's much longer. And if you look at my neighbor's lawn, you can see he's basically scalped it to the ground. And as you're looking at the B-roll, you can see my lawn has a lot of flowers, it's a little bit greener, and his lawn is just cut straight to the ground. So the longer you let your grass grow, the deeper the roots will get. The deeper the roots go, the less you'll need to water it. And as a matter of fact, I never water my lawn, and I think it looks just fine. So I cut my grass about once a month, so just let it grow longer. And the benefit to this is that once it grows longer, clover and other beneficial plants can grow within the grass, so it becomes more of an ecosystem instead of just a dead zone of just one crop, which would be grass. So we have to kind of shift the way that we're thinking about our lawns. You know, our lawns don't have to be this picture-perfect, manicured spot. It can still be beautiful. It can be filled with flowers. What's wrong with flowers? They're beautiful. They're good for the bees, and they're pretty to look at. So the first tip, stop cutting your grass so often. It's gonna save you time. I mean, who wants to mow the grass every week? So my second tip is stop using herbicides on your lawn. Herbicides, you spray them on the lawn to kill off the weeds, which mostly is clover and wild violet, and there's other things that people consider weeds that grow in their grass. But the problem with this is that the herbicides go into the ground and then they leach into our water system. So it's just not good. It's not good. It kills a whole bunch of things that it's not supposed to kill, and it damages the soil biota. So if we stop using herbicides and we let the clover and the wild violet grow, the clover will feed the bees along with other pollinators. And wild violet is actually native to the United States. It grows pretty much everywhere. It's those cheerful little purple flowers that you see in the spring. This is actually a really important plant. It is the host plant for the fritillary butterflies. The fritillary butterflies is 30 different types of butterflies, and it's like milkweed for monarchs. So the wild violet is the host plant for the fritillaries. So if you just let this one little plant grow in your lawn, you're actually supporting 30 different kinds of butterflies. So it's actually pretty amazing. So second tip, stop putting herbicides on your lawn. Now the third tip is stop putting pesticides on your lawn. Now, people put pesticides on their lawn to control grubs. Now, what the grubs do is they eat the roots of your grass, and that's why you get those big round yellow patches of dead grass. It's because the grubs have been eating it. And when I say grubs, what I really mean is the babies of Japanese beetles. But the good news is that there's actually a product, a natural product, that only affects the Japanese beetle grubs. that you only have to put on twice a year for 3 years, and then you never have to use it again. So this product is called milky spore. Now, milky spore is a type of fungus, and it only attacks the Japanese beetle grubs. So you put it on your lawn in the spring and the fall. That's when the grubs are active and feeding. It won't affect the adult Japanese beetles, but if you put it on your lawn twice a year, it'll kill the grubs, and then it uses the grubs to spread throughout through the soil so that it gets all the rest of the grubs. You can get it in powder form, or I use the granular because it's less dusty and it's easier to spread. I just get a big bag of it twice a year, like I said, in the spring and in the fall. And then I use a grass seed spreader, and I just go along and I just put it all over my lawn. I actually put it in my garden beds too, because as us gardeners know, those Japanese beetles are really bad. So last year I hadn't done it yet, and then in the fall I did it, and this year I'm noticing as the Japanese beetles comes out, there's actually a lot less of them. And when I was digging in the soil this year, putting in all of my spring plants, I noticed that there was a lot less grubs, so already it started to be effective. So pesticides are really bad. You don't want to use them. Like I said, the same thing with the herbicides. They leach into the water system, and that ends up in our drinking water. So if something kills an insect and you're drinking it, it's not going to be good for you either. So we really want to avoid using that. And also it kills a lot of other different kinds of bugs, and most bugs are good bugs. There's not that many bad bugs. I know we think, oh, bugs, they're bad, but there's actually a lot more good bugs than there are bad bugs. And it's the good bugs that we're accidentally killing with pesticides that help us control the bad bugs, which is the reason why we're spraying the pesticides in the first place. So milky spore is a great product, like I said, twice a year, spring and fall for 3 years, and then your soil will be fully inoculated and you'll never have to use it again. So those were the 3 tips. Keep your grass longer, stop using herbicides, stop using pesticides. And let's as a culture get together and shift the way that we think about our lawn. It doesn't have to be perfectly manicured to be beautiful. It doesn't have to be scalped short with only a sea of grass. I want to see more flowers in the world. Flowers make me happy, and I know they make other people happy too. So let's everybody lead by example. Use these 3 tips, and if you're ready for more, I'm going to make more videos on how to turn your lawn into a wildflower field. And I know that this is that's a big project, but this is 3 things that everybody with a lawn can do and should be doing. So if you guys have any more questions about any of the things that I talked about today, just let me know in the comments below. And also let me know, why are the pollinators so important to you? I want to hear from our community about why everything is so important to you guys. So as always, click that little like button and subscribe. Thanks for watching and have a great day.